Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the real United States. We are here in College Park in southern Maryland, and we are at Shoppers, which is a large grocery store chain across this part of the United States. And we're here for a very special commodity. We're coming in here to get, well, two things actually. One are colossal donuts, and these are these gigantic donuts that they sell in this chain exclusively. But the thing we're really here to get are called Cronuts. Now, this is something that I only learned about in the last 6 or 8 months. And in fact, as I understand it, is fairly new within the last year or so. Now, a cronut, as I understand it, is a kind of a cross between a croissant and a donut. And a little bit later on in the video, I'm going to give you a little bit more of the history. But right now, we're going to just go in and we're going to pick some up, and then we'll pick up again afterwards when we get home to enjoy our cronuts. So come along and we'll take you inside. So here we have colossal donuts. Little box you can get them to go in, and you can see these bad boys are pretty big. Now, these sort of hexagon shaped ones here are actually the cronuts, and that's kind of a, at least in this part of the country, a dead giveaway shape wise to identify them. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these, Bev. These look good.
Use a tissue.
So, oh, she's so proper. I wasn't touching anybody else's cronuts.
I know, but
So, it is like $4.95 or $4.99 for a dozen colossal donuts or cronuts. And there's 6. You want 8 of these there, and
yes.
we'll get 8 cronuts. And they are glazed like a regular raised donut. Okay, we're gonna go check out and head back to the house, and I'll give you a little more of the history of these and why they're so special. Come along. Okay, so we've gotten home now with our cronuts and some colossal donuts, and we're gonna now show you a little bit about them while we have some, of course. And one of the things that Beverly suggested was that we actually measure one to show you why they're called colossal donuts. Now I'm shooting this with an open mic. It's our shotgun mic, but I think we'll get some pretty good audio on this. I didn't feel like having the lavalier on while I was trying to sit here and do this. And Bev, you want to go ahead and stretch across that bad boy?
Yep, I got it.
And that is just over 4.5 inches. So well in excess of 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters across. So it's a pretty big cronut.
Yeah, it is.
Now the cronut, I'm just said, go ahead and grab yourself one, dear. I want to tell you a little bit about it. A fairly recent culinary development. Now there has been in the last years a controversy over who actually developed this idea. What we have is a croissant, layered or striated dough that is then deep fried like a donut. It's quite a bit, I think, sweeter than croissant dough. And these actually are knockoffs. A true cronut, we're going to give the credit to Dominic Ansel and his bakery in New York City, if for no other reason because he did manage to be the first to trademark the term cronut. Some have claimed that they've been making some sort of thing like this since 1991. I don't know. But it, at any rate, in the last, we'll say, year and a half, it's become quite a thing. Now, the true New York City Cronut was again a layered croissant-style pastry that was then fried in grapeseed oil. Now, usually in a true Cronut, they're also about halfway through is a filling. It might be an almond paste or some kind of berry filling, like a filled donut, but they run that around between the circle and then put it together and then deep fry it in grapeseed oil. Now, I'm sure that here locally, and again we're in southern Maryland, that these are probably fried in a regular vegetable oil, but you can see they are somewhat a striated, a layered type of pastry. So they've got a little more, they're a little more maybe chewy, would you say, than a regular cake-style donut or a raised donut. Now these particularly have been glazed, much like a regular raised donut usually are glazed. And
on the outside, the outside is golden brown, and they're very crunchy on the outside. When you bite into them, it crunches.
a little bit.
Whereas a lot of just a regular filled donut, you don't get a crunch to it when you bite into it. And it's lighter than a regular donut, or definitely lighter than a cake donut. And it does, when you bite into it, you can see the layers. Like a croissant has layers. This has layers like that. And then they put a glaze on it, and they're sweet and they're good. And I try not to have too many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a very different mouthfeel from a regular donut. And now the true Cronuts in New York and in that area, depending on where you get them, can run $1.75 a piece to as much as $5 a piece. I've read that there were scalpers that were trying to sell some for as much as $100 a piece. Here in southern Maryland, these knockoff Cronuts, if you will, that don't have a filling in them, yeah, $4.99 a dozen. So something that's not insanely expensive, actually cheaper than a lot of donuts that you buy at some of the big name chains. Again, we bought these at Shoppers at a grocery store, so a lot cheaper than buying them at a chain donut specialty place.
Yeah.
And but they're good. They're very nice. I like them significantly more than a donut. I'm not a big donut fan myself, but these I actually happen to really like. The dough is not maybe as sweet as a regular donut, but it's still sweeter than a regular croissant. So if you aren't, I think the reason that we really wanted to do this was, this is, no matter who gets the credit for it, this is an American invention. And so for those of you that are watching from other parts of the world, I understand they're now starting to have Cronuts in some other places, like in Australia and China and Japan.
Yeah.
So it is spreading, but this is an American invention. So I guess we're glad to have brought the world Cronuts. So I guess we'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on The Real United States for this short history on the Cronut. And we hope you've enjoyed this. We hope that you'll pick subscribe and come along for the adventure. If you got questions or comments, leave a comment in the comment section below. I try to get back to everybody I can. And as always, thank you for watching.